Hi, everyone. Welcome to the March 12th, 2026 meeting of the Rubenhor Library Trustees. Thanks for being here. I apologize that I'm not here in person, just had back-to-back stuff. Let's start with correspondence. Sam, do we have any correspondence?
No, we do not.
Okay. Is there any public comment?
Felicia's here.
Hi.
Hi.
I can't see you. You're way in the back, but hello.
Yeah, hiding.
Okay. Minutes of prior meetings. Has everyone had a chance to look at the February 9th, 2026 minutes? I assume that's a yes. Does anyone have any updates, questions, comments on the minutes? Okay. Could we have a motion to accept the minutes?
I move to accept the.
I'll second that.
Don't have to say the whole thing.
Go ahead. You already seconded.
To accept the minutes from the Rubenhor Library Trustees meeting on February 9th, 2026.
David seconds.
Okay. Katrina,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Kimberly, yes. I know Steph isn't. Oh, and Chris.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Thank you. Treasurer's report.
All right. So we have MMDT is $37,835.16. State aid is $25,804.78. Gift fund has $7,329.18. The building gift has $32,339.54. MBLC grant has $686,044. LEAD has $116,895. And the Barth month ending statement value is $1,937,253.63.
Great. How's that doing compared to how it's been?
It's actually a little up from a couple months ago.
Okay, good. Great. Does anyone have any other questions about the treasurer's report? Okay, moving on to the Friends report.
Rubenhor Library Friends Board has met twice since our last meeting on February 18th and then again last night. And they squeezed in their March meeting early because they're trying to do preparations for the mini golf event. And that's been the bulk of conversations in both months' meetings. Lots and lots of details. Every last little detail is mapped out, and they have this crazy spreadsheet full of tasks and little color coding to determine when things are done or virtually done but not quite done. And the library is going to be taken over by them middle of next week.
Yes.
So Sam has had to do all kinds of arranging for the logistics spaces that will be filled with stuff, and then the stuff will get moved to where it has to be. They're trying to mobilize volunteers to fill in their little sign up genius sheet, and the number of volunteers for the Friday night is still a little bit weak. So if you wanted to pitch in to hand out clubs and balls or whatever, be a greeter or clean up or whatever, that might be well, because on Friday night they have to have volunteers who are over 21. And in the
I will
meantime,
be there. They just told me not to put myself in any role yet.
Yeah,
Because
great.
they'll be assigned.
Holding yourself in reserve. I just signed up myself today after listening to what was needed.
Yeah.
In the meantime, they've also gotten a newsletter published, and that has stimulated lots of membership activity. So they had like 20 new members in the past week or so. They had a flood of checks. They had checks from new members, and they had checks from donors to the mini golf event. So they're quite flush in their funds. They are monitoring expenses around the coffee cart. I'm just trying to track that a little more in the new arrangement to understand really whether usage is Whether it's just about time lag between how things are batched and reported in terms of the utilization of coffee cart and materials. So that's sort of an ongoing question mark to see how it's working.
Do you know how the newsletter was delivered? Was it mailed or
Mailed.
emailed?
Posted.
I received it in my.
Just came out less than a week.
Yeah.
Just under a week.
It is.
Um, and they were relieved that the focus group dates were pushed into early April because they were freaking out about now. So I think that was going north. And young adult room snack funding. They have provided funds. Again, there was a little hiatus in providing snacks because of teen misbehavior, messy behavior. But I think that's back on track. And they authorized $3,000 to cover the newsletter expenses, postage, printing. That they did in February, and so that's why it's out. And they authorized $9,000 last night to cover the summer reading programs.
Thank you, friends.
4,000 for teens, 4,000 for children, 1,000 for adults.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And I think that's just of the Friends report. They just need to make it through this big event and then come up for air afterwards.
Yeah. Deservedly so.
Thanks, David. Does anyone have any? Sorry, are you talking?
I was just saying, are there any questions for me to bring back to them?
No, but that's really generous of them. Yeah.
Go ahead, Kimberly.
I was just gonna say that's very generous of them for the summer reading. That's really wonderful. So, and best of luck for mini golf.
I'll be there and help.
Thanks.
Hey, Sam, building updates.
So no major building updates except, so I guess the town is, well, Dan Curry is working on ADA requirements and legal requirements. So, one thing is that I'm going to bring at the next trustee meeting, because I don't know the exact time yet, but I do know the date, May 26th. Any town employee that has any kind of public input or public facing answers phone calls has to receive ADA training. So that's pretty much all of us. So on May 26th, we're probably going to have to do a delayed opening. I just don't know what time it's going to happen yet. So hopefully at next month's meeting, I'll be able to bring that to you guys. Because we're going to have a delayed opening for that date. The other thing is someone that I guess is working with Diane. I got an email this morning from Diane saying someone is going to be coming through all the town buildings to look around to make sure that we're compliant. And there were two issues found. One was a simple thing at the printer desk upstairs. There was a chair at the desk. It's not usually there. It's just patrons moving around things, but it has to be wheelchair accessible. So he just said, don't keep a chair there. And we usually don't. It's just somebody put it there. But the other major thing, I'm not sure how major it is yet, is I don't know if you ever noticed in our bathrooms, there's a little fixture on the wall next to the toilets. I think it's meant for us to attach a hose to pour water down the drain so that we can clear out the drains. Well, apparently it's too far out. And if a wheelchair was to go in there, it's possible a wheelchair could get stuck on it, and that could be an issue. So they dinged us on that. So George was with this person. I wasn't there because I came in late because of the meeting. I think the same thing for Mike. So this is what I heard from Susan. So I'll let you know when I know more about this, but that was the only thing they told us about this building. So that's about it.
So is the facilities.
Yeah, so George and Eric
will address it.
Yeah. I think this person is working on, he was taking photos and is going to create a report that he'll bring to the town. And
Okay.
I assume by that point we'll know more.
All right, thanks, Sam. Mike, your report.
I attended a MPLC Tech Services user meeting on February 10th. And EBSCO and I have finished up our audiobook work. As far as we know, we'll have to sort of, check it every once in a while to see what's been returned. But as far as we know, all the sort of big stuff is done. Now we're going to move on to redoing the large print section, and then to the DVDs. I'm going to have Tracy read the DVDs in the meantime before we get there. That's fine.
Sorry, I actually said any questions for Mike, but then I was on mute, so I deeply apologize. I should really just be there. Any questions for Mike? Okay, moving on to Sam.
Okay. So the community read began on March 2nd. So at first we have patrons coming to the serve desk to ask for the book, but I just put the books out because I think patrons are too scared to ask for it. So they're going much faster now. And then we held our quarterly staff meeting on Tuesday, March 10th. And we had the library consultant we hired, Barbara Friedman, come, and she held a focus group with the staff. So I was not allowed to be there, but I did get a report from her. And basically, staff said that they think some of the strengths of the library are that we're welcoming. We all have diverse skills. We're here to offer actual human assistance, I guess. The library functions as a community center, gathering space, and a safe place for families. They think that the Library of Things is a great part of the library. They're happy that circulation has increased. Study rooms are very popular. Teen space is very popular. They said we need more soundproofing, that sometimes the space is too open and that voices can be heard through the walls, that noise carries outside the study rooms or throughout the library, that we could use more signage, clearly marking the fiction area from nonfiction, more temporary signage, such as the librarian is in, go to the desk, or we're shelving, please find us. They said that the teen room could use better sight lines because there's poor sight lines from the desk when staff are shelving. So maybe to add mirrors or taller, because it's taller shelves to block the room. A larger adult collection because they said that they are reading more, and maybe downsize the DVD collection. And then let's see, Wi-Fi should be more reliable. Sometimes the Wi-Fi just go down in the building. Marketing could be expanded. Let's see. They said that we could use a new adult services librarian. Some aspirations for staff training or to deal with difficult patrons or dealing with patrons' crisis. Yeah, I can send this to you guys.
That'd be
But
great.
yeah, that's there's some other stuff, but that's about it. Anything you want to add, Mike? You were actually there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much summed it up.
Yes.
Good comments and food for thought. Improvements.
Yeah, so that was the staff meeting. And then on March 18th, I'm going to work with the assistant town administrator. He's holding Lawson Citizenship Academy. It says students, but they're actually people like more in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. So they're not kids. And basically there are only 3 of them. And they've been basically the assistant TA has been bringing them to various departments and each department's been doing like a PowerPoint. Like I think he did, this is going to be the third one, but he went to finance director's office and she did a PowerPoint, I guess. And can't remember who he went to the first week, but he asked if I would actually do like
review town meeting.
yeah, maybe that. So he asked if I would do like a library 101 kind of class where I actually show them how to do things in the library and maybe, talk about what the library does. And I'm the first department head he's gone to that actually manages a building that's not just in town hall. So talk about that. So
Highlight some services.
Yeah.
Do what they come in.
right. So yeah, so that's on Wednesday night. And then at the end of the month, I'm attending the Public Library Association Conference in Minneapolis from March 31st to April 4th. So I will be there. And hopefully I get to come back. Yes.
You'll be back then.
Yeah, so that's it. Then as far as financially, we're pretty much on track the year. Yeah, that's it. Any questions?
For the Minneapolis, is that falling under the budget we kind of set out for?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Can I ask, how did the staff respond to our treatment? That they
Focus.
Yeah, it was fine. I think people were sort of open and enthusiastic about it, I guess. Maybe enthusiastic is a little too strong, but everyone participated. She's pretty good about forcing everyone to participate, but yeah, I think they liked it.
Great.
Yeah, I didn't get any complaints.
Yeah.
But everyone was encouraged to contribute to the conversation too. So that's
Yeah.
nice to know that someone sitting in the focus group won't just be overlooked.
Right.
For others who are more local.
Yeah, no, she was pretty good about calling on everyone at some point.
Thanks.
Thank you. That's really good to hear.
Yeah.
So you do.
All right. Any other questions for Sam?
I'm glad you're on the Citizenship Academy docket there, Sam.
Sure.
It's a good chance for you to highlight the library beyond what people know about it.
It's also just good cooperation with the town. All right. Old business. Charter committee updates. Katrina.
All right. So a lot of things have happened with the charter committee over the last few months. So if you guys recall, back in like September, we were invited to go to the charter committee and present. They've had a few questions, maybe follow-up questions, so I can remember them, that they've been trying to answer across all of the town boards. So one, as they go through the charter process, they're trying to figure out which boards should be elected or appointed, who should have hiring or dismissal power. Should it be the board or the town manager? And then who should the directors of each department report to or be evaluated by? Should it be the town manager or board? And then they've gone through other processes as well, like talking about town meeting and setting out processes is also other boards. So they are down to the point where they have a draft charter, which is available on the website. I just sent it all to you beforehand so you could review it and make sure that we have any of our own questions or concerns addressed. They are at the point where next week on March 16th, they're going to do the final decisions, and the last decision related to the library that they're going to discuss is whether the library director should be reviewed and evaluated by the town manager and report directly to the town manager or report to the board, our board. So that is a question still up for debate. I think what they're struggling with is why should Sam be held different than another director? And I think it all comes down to the pieces that could put together. When we go back to the board elected or appointed, there's some really strong state general laws that are governing libraries that don't necessarily govern the other boards. And one of those is related to hiring and contracts with directors. So that is in, governing us, that it's not governing their department. So they're taking all these pieces and putting them together. And then in terms of every day to day, I've been sharing, like, here's the state law and here's what's in the handbook. And they've really gotten down to, I attended the open house that they had a couple weekends ago. And I've just been answering questions, as I've been getting a lot of questions lately about the library. But they were asking, what is our review process and how do we go about it? And who do we enlist feedback from which stakeholders, things like that. So, the TA, and then just met with the director of HR. So to talk about Sam's contract, and then also to get feedback to go into Sam's evaluation. So they were asking about Sam and how he interacts with the other departments as well, just to make sure that we're not a silo. That's not what they want specifically, but I think we outlined our, here's a policy that covers this, here's all the things. I was just kind of showing them everything that we have. So that discussion is going to happen next Monday. And then that finalizes this document, and they are meeting for the first discussion with the select board on March 30th to review this document and really try to help them understand the thought process they went through to create it, and answer any of their questions. And then soon, but I don't think at the end of this month. So there'll be another iteration that they can come back and edit things, and then it will go to the select board. And at that point, it's the select board's job to decide what's in this final document before it comes to town meeting next fall. Is my understanding of the timeline. So there'll be other opportunities to do feedback and to the select board before this comes to the floor for vote. So I don't know if anyone has specific questions. I feel like I've been very mired in it, and David has probably more perspective on what this looks like from his past library experience, but happy to answer questions or concerns people have. And then if anyone wants to join me Monday, the 16th or the 30th, you can come join me.
Do you have a sense of which direction they're leaning at the moment?
So I can't speak for the entire board, but the members that I have spoken to have not seemed to want to change the setup that we currently have, that have elected board where we have hiring and dismissal contract authority. And as long, the ones I've spoken to when I've outlined our evaluation process and described how it's similar to what the select board does for the TA and the school committee does for the superintendent, they were much more happy to make sure that we weren't just off on our own, that our processes are very much involved in what the town has. And I think that because of that, the ones I've spoken to don't seem to be pushing to have Sam report only to the TA. Yes, have a relationship. The library director should have a strong relationship with the TA, but our town manager, but it shouldn't be exclusive and to the board.
Are they interested in putting something in there that codifies a relationship between the library director and the town manager?
Yeah,
I think there's something.
They're trying to find words to make sure that we can't exclude the town manager from anything, so that we would get feedback from the town manager for reviews, and for hiring, we should consult with the town manager,
and it also says that I should meet with the town manager on a regular basis.
I haven't gotten there yet, but okay.
Yeah, I've only read, maybe that's under town manager. I'm only reading section 5.
Yeah, I think
so. A lot of the specifics actually will fall under the roles and responsibilities of the town manager. When I read others, so I've, just so you guys know, I went to the listserv or for the library trustees, and you guys may have seen it. I asked, can everyone send me their sections? And largely what was written in this draft that I saw last, and maybe it's changed, was very consistent with other libraries in the state. And then, and so it was nice to see that there was consistency of what they've landed on across the board. When they were asking for language to codify more detail, but that doesn't exist for any other library that I've seen. So I think they're still trying to make sure that we any board who has oversight and evaluation authority doesn't just cut out the town, is essentially what they want to make sure there's a relationship going back and forth.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't see anything that's any different from what we already do, except for the finance committee part.
And that was the
Oh,
one
right.
other detail
Yes.
that I had dropped in an email earlier, just an FYI for you guys, is because as they do these puzzle pieces, when they changed, so Littleton has a different setup for a FinCom, and I think that's the biggest difference in our town. Like, instead of, some towns have the town moderator appoint all members of FinCom, some have another one or two roles or boards in town appoint FinCom members, but Littleton has really distributed that appointment power across different boards. So it's the select board, it's the town moderator, it's light and water. I am blanking on all of them, but in the end, this assessors were they get to appoint one member, and for reasons I won't enumerate, the charter committee is planning to recommend, unless that has changed since the last in this draft, that the board of assessors become appointed, and in part because they don't have contested elections. They weren't even pulling papers. They were just doing write-ins, and it's a big role, right? So if they wanted to make sure people who are doing the assessor's role have qualifications to do it. And so they think by making it appointed by the select board, that would happen. But with an appointed board by the select board, they didn't want to give the select board members 3 appointment essentially through the pathway of the assessors, board of assessors. So then they were looking at the other boards that they were recommending to remain elected, who they thought would be able to appoint someone. So it's not a member of our board on FinCom, it's somebody that we as a board outside of our board would appoint to be on FinCom, and then they would act independently as in the interest of the town. So they chose the library, and their reasoning was that they like that we do the networking like we do the open houses for our library directors, where we met Felicia, library trustees, sorry. They like that we've had network, and it's a different network of people than maybe the other boards are connected with. So they were hoping to get a different perspective onto the board, and that was their justification. Of course, that would have to be get through the select board's decisions and then town meeting, if that was the case. But I don't know if we have any opinion for or against an appointment authority.
Do we have a sense of people we would, hi, sorry, I know you're looking, I can see you and you're looking both directions. Do we have any sense of how one goes about appointing someone or finding people that are interested in being on FinCom that are also affiliated with or could represent the library? Because it's kind of a little bit hard enough to find people who want to run for trustee.
So they don't have to want to represent the library.
Okay.
So just to be clear, not because we're there guarding our own personal interest and budgetary things. It is and what I understand from people who've been on FinCom before, I've asked about this, is the people who are interested in this role kind of figure out who to talk to start becoming familiar with the board so that they may be appointed. So there is, I mean, it's who you know, right? So if we as a board know people who are financially savvy and want to serve, then we could choose anybody we want, whether or not they're for or against the library. I will say that each of these boards, like the school committee and, select board, or who have an appointing power, each of them have a different evaluation and assessment process before they do the appointments. And some have them very laissez-faire. You don't know what the criteria were they went to choosing those people. And then there's some like this, school committee actually brings people in and they interview them in open meeting and before they choose which one to do to be appointed. So,
and are the terms multi-year? So this would be an occasional.
Yeah, it's like I think it's a 3-year term, and you can serve for a term. So you could reappoint the same person, or if the board was unhappy with their appointment, then they could appoint somebody else.
It wouldn't be every year that we have to go through that process, right?
Not unless somebody left, but yeah.
And if someone left, would it still be our choice to appoint, or would that default to the select board?
I haven't read the charter in specifics about the FinCom section yet, but I believe, like right now there is a vacancy on FinCom, and it could be wrong, but it's my understanding that whomever made that appointment has to fill it. So, and that takes time. So there's just a vacancy right now. So, I mean, I don't think it's something we couldn't do if we were asked to. I think it's just something we're not used to doing. And once we get doing it a few times, it would get easier. So the first time is always the hardest one. I think the hardest thing would be to set criteria that we would be comfortable with and to do so in public meeting.
I'm concerned about the additional responsibility, but if it is only kind of, I feel like maybe we'd have like a 6-month ramp up to our first time doing it or something like that. Just as a
okay,
like
so
a
just
guess,
keeping
right?
in mind,
Then
yeah, so keeping in mind that there's a whole process to charters coming and a transition plan. So charters coming to be, and then the transition from whatever the current state of government is to the when it goes into effect and how to get between point A and point B. So it's not that it's between now and then, like we have to do it next month kind of thing. Yeah.
right.
Or even a town meeting vote the next day, we need to be ready to go. I think this is something that if this gets to town, if it's going to town meeting and we have, if the library trustee appointing power remains in the charter that's going to town meeting, I think we should just keep on top of it, because if that timeline does matter, and we would want to be in anticipation of that. And also before we even get to town meeting, we may want to be prepared to answer that question. So to write guidelines or talk to people who are currently appointing these positions, I think we could learn from the other boards what their criteria are and kind of pull and learn from their experience about how they go about the process.
It might even be that the assessor's appointee has some time left on their current term. You wouldn't really, if we're kind of filling that slot, like they wouldn't fire them. Like we get.
Yeah, exactly. Like whoever's serving a term would remain to their term.
So it might even be like a year or two.
Yeah, it could be up to a couple of years after
So
an adoption of a charter.
So we're kind of making this decision potentially based like for future board that is not the people in this room right now. So I just yes, like maybe some, maybe not. But I'm just kind of curious about like other people in the room, how they feel about it. Like having kind of the, I suppose, honor of getting to appoint a person compared with, is this a responsibility we want to take on for the trustees and push into the future?
I've done a lot of talking, so I'm gonna let you guys
And
go.
I'm waiting for other people. What do you think?
Chris, you won't have to do it. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess I think it will become one of the things that is the responsibility of the board. I'm not sure that it necessarily, it doesn't sound to me as though it would become a super heavy lift. It's not going to take away from library responsibilities, and it maybe feels like there's more connectivity to other parts of the town. I don't know, I guess I'm kind of like, not really sure I necessarily have a strong opinion one way or the other.
David, Sarah?
Boring way to.
I don't really strong opinion, but I mean, it really depends on who's on the board. When this comes to happen, if it does, like if the board, if the board is different, like maybe new board members would have a strong community connection and know people. So it's really hard to say, like, because we're not talking about right now. But I don't think it would be a big deal. I'm fine with it. I could go either way.
David, how about you?
I wouldn't covet this responsibility as a library trustee, but I agree it's not an unreasonable thing. I would second Chris's observation that if we had this appointing power, it would encourage library trustees to pay greater attention to what's going on with other boards, and maybe it would foster some communications because of this shared responsibility.
Katrina, do you feel like this is something that we're going to need to vote on at some point as a board, or just have conversations with the charter committee? What do you think?
So remember that the charter is being drafted and it only is the charter committee is recommending things to the select board.
Right.
And the select board is going to make decisions via open forum and other pieces of information that they get, and they get to decide what they bring to town meeting.
Mhm.
I don't think we have to vote for it. I think we need to be prepared if this continues and to keep an eye on it, because we would want to be, I think we'd want a position to, if somebody asked us on town meeting floor, whether we would be capable of doing so. And I think as a board, we've demonstrated and have established policies, and, we've go through, we've had we haven't had to in years, but, we've evaluated directors. We've done these kind of like processes. And I think our policies show that we can formalize these kind of processes. Think about the scholarship. We've demonstrated that we can put a process in that's very formalized and transparent too. So,
and if it comes to
and
that,
to be honest with you, like from a personal trustee hat on, like it doesn't hurt to have somebody sitting at the table that's in your corner
sure.
when financial decisions are coming down. So
Yeah.
I don't expect any person we appoint for FinCom to only be looking out for the library, but it doesn't hurt that the library will have a voice there.
Yeah. So we're talking about the fall town meeting, right? Not May. Okay. Great. So in terms of that kind of having a position and like a unified position that we can all speak to if we need to, we don't have to have that till August, September, something like that. If it comes up. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't think we need to necessarily set formalized policies in motion, but I think we could have skeletons of what we might do in order to make this process happen in a timely manner, right? And then I also think putting on my civilian hat right now, like as a person in this town, I think this is going to be this might be a contested part of the whole draft charter. I wouldn't be surprised if, given the importance of the assessors and finance policy, that they would be pushing to keep an appointed member, a member appointed by them on the board. So, and right now that's Steve Venuti. So I believe is the assessor's appointment. So I think there's, I would think this was going to have a lot of discussion, and I can't say that we should say we can't handle it. I don't think that's true. I think we could handle it if we were tasked with it.
Yeah. Okay. That's all my
I think
questions.
future boards could too.
What's that? And for future boards.
And I think future boards could too. Like, I think if it becomes part of our role and responsibilities, then we start making sure we are connected. Like we did the open houses for meeting new trustees. I think we do the same thing for trying to get more connections to the public. And I do think when you look at who appoints members to FinCom, we do have a different bucket of town than the other boards do. Yeah. So it might bring in a different voice to the table.
Cool. Okay.
Try to go with
Appreciate it. Even if just backup, a friendly face. I don't think it's going to be contentious, but I'm sure there'll be questions. And I have, the summary that I wrote back in September that you guys all reviewed, I have that. And then since then I've got sample charter language I've acquired them from the other libraries. So I'll try to make one document so we just have it good. It's nice to have it in one place, and then future trustees 10 years from now, when they go through this process again, hopefully could have it in one place so they can see what's changed since then. We'll see.
So you said it's the 16th?
The 16th is the charter committee meeting. I believe it's at 6 p.m.
Where will it be? Do you know where it is?
It's in room 103. And the
10 o'clock for the committee, charter committee?
Yes.
And room 103?
Yeah. And then I do not know yet, because the agenda hasn't come out for the select board meeting, but I do know that they're meeting with them on September 30th. I'm sorry, March 30th. Okay. I just spoke about September, and it was pretty close to when we last met with the charter.
Only 6 months off.
Only 6 months.
Katrina, thank you so much for spearheading all of this, having all the communications with everybody.
It's been pretty fascinating to listen to their debates, and I have to say their minutes are very detailed, which is helpful when you only want to listen to a segment of their plays. So.
All right, thanks. All right, moving on to Ray Grande Scholarship Committee, I can give an update, which is that we had a meeting. The committee had a meeting on, I want to say it was March 5th. I think it was a week ago, something like that, and maybe March 4th. And so far, we have sent out all of the communications to schools, counselors, we've done Facebook posts, marketing within the library, outside of the library, everything like that. We've gotten 0 applicants, but Sam says that we don't usually get any till the day or two before, so I'm not worried. I'm going to send a second set of all of those communications out on Monday, actually. And we are meeting the deadline is April 1st, and our next meeting is on April 9th as a committee, at which point we will have all read through the applications and the essays and we'll be coming together to determine who we would like to interview. That is the update there. Any questions?
Meeting on the 9th. Isn't that our meeting?
We're meeting before our meeting,
But what time?
5:30.
5:30.
I'm just potentially planning a policy committee meeting, so I don't want to, I might be late. That's okay. No, it's just good to know.
Any other questions about the Ray Grande Scholarship Committee? Any questions about that? All right, Library Consultant Strategic Plan Updates Newsletter. Sam.
Barbara and I set up 5 dates for focus groups. I sent out an email blast today for it. The first one will be on April 3rd from 12:30 to 2, and that's the teen only one. So Megan has been promoting that with the teens. She contacted the NHS person to try to get people to come. I know there's been a couple of signups already, actually. And then the rest of them are for all ages. So there's one on Tuesday, April 7th from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. One on Wednesday, April 8th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. One on April 9th. That's a Thursday. That's from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. And then the final one is Sunday, April 12th from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. via Zoom. That's a Sunday. So like I said, I posted it on the website. It's on Facebook, Constant Contact. I sent out the newsletter, the email blast today, put it on all the TVs with a QR code. The town put it on their website and Facebook. I sent invitation letters to the town administrator, assistant TA, finance director, town accountant, and COA director. And I asked them to pass it on to their boards and to the seniors. LCTV posted it, or it's going to post it. And I sent an email to the moderator of the Residents for a Better Littleton Facebook page, and I asked them to post it today as well. I haven't heard back. So that's it. So you can go on our calendar. They're all on there, and you can sign up if you want. I did ask the town people to contact me so I can sign them up so that I know that they're coming. But other than that, anyone else can sign up.
So the town, you invited who were from the town departments? TA?
The town administrator, so Jim, Tony, the assistant TA, Robin, the finance director, Michelle Reynolds, the town accountant, Liz, the COA director, and I asked them to pass it on to their boards as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you want to contact the boards, feel free to.
Of course.
Ask Liz to let the seniors know. Seniors.
As you go through and get people who are committing to the events, if you find that you're missing any particular demographics, I guess let us know. Maybe we can help with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I guess the question remains, do we want to, as a board, reach out specifically? Sam reached out to the department heads, ask them to forward it to the board, but I think we should reach out to the boards directly as a board to a board and invite them to a member or two to participate. Send them the links. So is that something we would want to do?
It's a good idea. Yeah.
Does anyone want to be the one doing it? Or should we? I think the next,
Sam, if you send us that, I was going to say, Sam, if you send us what you sent,
Yeah.
and then maybe we can divide and conquer for boards.
Sure.
Get a list of the boards and your email, and then just each take some.
Next select board meeting is March 23rd, for example. So we could plan to show up in public input for them.
Oh, showing up, not sending emails. Different story. I could probably come to. I could probably get to some things.
I mean, I do think an email with the links is probably helpful, but like a stop in, this is a good chance to connect and explain the process.
I think an email now and then going to the meeting, because if we wait until the 23rd, it doesn't give them a lot of time to
I
plan.
agree.
What boards are we talking about?
I think select board, FinCom, you want COA, or does Liz inviting?
I think
Liz inviting that board, and you actually have some library members on that board now, or former librarians are now sitting on the COA board. So that's a connection that we might get.
Yeah, I can ask them.
What about planning board or conservation?
What about school?
Okay.
I think we could send, like, if Sam sends us the shell of the email with the links, then we could. I think definitely select board, definitely FinCom, and I think schools are, given the shared mission with education, is a good one to reach out to.
I'm sure I can make it to one of those meetings. I'm happy to send emails. Probably can make it to a meeting.
Yeah, I think let's start with emails.
Yeah. So Sam,
And we can look at when the next board meetings are too, to see if it works before our meetings happen. I think the next school committee meeting's the 19th. They were meeting tonight, so it's going to be.
So school board, planning board, FinCom's already on here, select board. Did I miss anyone?
I think you're right.
Select board, FinCom, school board, planning board.
That seems right. Sam, okay with you? Send us the.
Oh, and could we, who's on the disability commission? I feel like maybe that's a good one to invite.
All you know is Diane Corey
Diane is the only one I know
and George
too.
Sanders, maybe.
Maybe we can email them as well, and we can go talk to Diane.
I bet George Sanders would be happy to. I'm not being sarcastic. I bet he would be happy to come.
He would.
Yes.
Yeah, if he's
He
invited,
would.
I bet he'd show up.
Yeah, he could be like COA and disability. He's got a few hats.
I think that is one that we should loop in, just in case there's feedback that they have that we're not aware of.
Yeah.
And we did just have the audit, which is helpful, but.
Sam, would you send that out or?
I could.
Well, I think board to board.
Okay.
Sam's already done director.
He's going to give the direct template.
If you could send us the template, we can coordinate who's sending and then who's showing up.
Thank you. Sam, you want me to send you an email about that tomorrow? Or are you good?
I'll send it.
Okay. 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 Anything else about the strategic plan?
So, so there was some confusion about the questions, like who.
That's right.
Questions we were supposed to vote, pick our top 10.
Mhm.
And then there was some confusion about, are we consolidating that or are we sending individually to Barbara? So we need to figure that out. Like, what is the process for choosing the questions?
So most of you sent me the questions and I sent the questions to her and she so the plan was that she would pick from what you guys sent. So she already created that list of questions.
She worked with the staff.
Yeah.
They're not the same questions she asked the staff though, right?
I don't know what she asked because I wasn't allowed to be there.
But do you have her
I can
list?
ask Mike and Mike can.
I don't know what she had to use.
Is there a way to get the list of questions to use?
Yeah, I'll send that to you as well.
Question. Yes. Thank you.
And then, I guess the question is, do we want to do a survey outside to get feedback from beyond just the focus groups? Alternatively, we can hold off on that step and see what the focus groups say and decide whether we want to refine any themes with a survey too.
I think we should do, I mean, I think survey is a part of it, right? But yeah, there was some conversation about whether we do it before or like alongside or after. I think after is fine.
These are pretty like tightly, like it's a week in April
Yeah.
essentially. So I feel like
Yeah.
it's kind of quick to get a survey out and then back. But
I think it's okay. The timeline she had talked about was pretty compressed as it was, and I think we were all feeling a little bit like we wanted to stretch it out a little bit more, give us more breathing room. And I don't see any problem with doing the survey afterwards. And I think you had talked about maybe doing it through LELWD, so that's something we could, plan also. I mean, maybe not too long, right? But I don't think we have to get it out in the next 2 weeks. What do you think?
I think we should do it after the focus groups.
yeah, I think there might be themes coming out of the focus groups. We might have better feel for what questions to put on a survey.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done like at least 3 surveys in the last couple of years.
That's
So,
Also, if you want to draw attention away from one or the other.
right.
That's true.
And we'll be meeting right in the midst of that to meet on April 9th.
Yeah.
There'll be a little bit of experience maybe.
So I think in our
Conversation.
sorry, go ahead.
Just, we could talk about what we want to achieve through a survey when we meet on April 9th.
And then maybe by like our May meeting, kind of have a solid draft ready to go.
Yeah, we send it out in May, I think, because you don't want to be too disconnected from her wrapping up the other interpretations.
And then the consideration is, I know you investigated what talking to Nick at LELWD about what it means to put something in their newsletter and a timeline.
But I didn't know. He wanted to know what it was that we wanted to put in there and how big it was. So I didn't know that, so I couldn't respond to him to
Yeah.
give him.
And we're not like adding something in the newsletter, right? We'd be sending a paper alongside the newsletter, just to clarify, right?
I think what I envisioned is they send their tri-folded piece of paper through them or half folded, and I think it's like they can insert a piece of paper in it and we could advertise the link to the survey.
That's what I believe we did that for when I was on the I can't remember the name of it. It was basically pay as you throw, but that wasn't the name. Solid Waste Options Committee. We did that. And it was just like a QR code or a link or something that people could go to, not the survey itself.
And then I guess the alternative is we wanted to do it completely independently. The Friends just paid $3,000 to do their townwide mailing so that we would know what that might cost. So
The postage part was under 2,000. There was printing.
yeah.
That might be a nice way to do it too.
That it could be nice to just bring it independently.
Mm-hmm. We could make it look more, we could like make it look nicer. I don't know. Potentially.
So can I go back to sending the emails to different boards? How are we going to decide who emails which board?
Would we like to do that now?
I think that would be helpful, so.
Happy to.
We have school board, planning board, disability committee, select board.
I'll take school committee.
I can go to select board, or unless you want me there, or if anyone else wants to, they can.
I'll do select board.
Okay. Sarah's got select board.
And
I can email disability and talk to Diane. And end up going there.
George.
When's Finn coming? I think we could do an email to FinCom and planning. If we wanted to. They usually are responsive that way.
To their overall email, the one that goes to all of them.
What?
Do you mean individually, or do you mean to that email? Do they have like
One person emails them,
Right.
all of them.
I can do FinCom.
Anyone want to take planning?
Nice to meet you on this.
Do you want anything different? I'll trade if you want.
I don't know anybody, so I don't know if you were.
Okay.
This is how you meet people.
Yeah, right.
And Kimberly, you're going to email the school principals, correct? That
Yeah.
was on,
Yeah, I'll do that too. Yep.
sorry, Katrina, you said disability?
Yeah, I'll do disability. I always like talking to Mr. Sanders.
Yeah.
Any other strategic planning?
Sorry, and we're, I know we're going to school select board, but are we gonna try and go to other meetings, or do you think for these other boards an email is sufficient?
I think if we get, my plan is if I get responses and they're like, yeah, I'll go, I'm signed up, I'm not going to go to the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
The only one I would say is different is select board, just because it also is a way to get announcements out, and
Right.
They're televised.
and they're televised and people do follow it. So I feel like that one might need to be
Better reinforced.
that's a good way to show
I'm
up.
not looking to go to more meetings, I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing.
And if you can't go to that, let me know.
Which one?
Select board.
No, it's on my
23rd. Perfect. Yeah, it'll be a 5-minute stop in.
Mhm.
Way to connect too. All right.
Do we need to tell them ahead of time, or is that just for public
You just
comment?
tell the TA that you plan to come in, but I think you could just be public comment too.
You could do that.
You come to watch the meeting. It's not usually like this detailed.
Yeah.
This is the longest meeting we've had all year.
And it's really much shorter now.
It's a lot of stuff. All right, moving on to library director contract. Also, Katrina.
I have been busy. All right, so Sam sent his current contract draft to me and then pointed out a few things, well, all of us, and then pointed out a few things that need to be updated. I went last week to meet with Michelle Wiebert, who's the director of HR, and just to make sure that the contract process hasn't changed, to make sure that beyond what Sam identified needs to be amended in his contract. If we were to, like, as we create a new contract, then we need to make sure that it aligns with the current handbook and compensation grid. She did, like, as Sam pointed out, he's about to top off on the grid. So I did have a quick conversation with Sam after speaking to Michelle. Michelle said there was 2 ways we could handle that we create a 1-year contract and then do contracting again after that, or if we did a 3-year, draw up a 3-year contract for us to talk about instead, and then amend the contract. So I don't know if this board has a feeling either way, but it's not a done deal that any new compensation grid will roll out in a year. So in my opinion, I think we should continue the 3-year path so that of any contract that we write, like, I wouldn't change our pattern for that, and amendments are possible. So, and then I haven't been able to look at what she went through the language in his current contract and just made some comments where there might need to be some minor changes to align with the employee handbook and certain other policies of town. So I need to go, she just sent this, so I haven't had a chance to go through this yet, but I would think my proposal is that we do an executive session ahead of our next meeting to discuss the director's contract and where we want to go with that.
Sounds good.
And I can share what information I have with everyone.
Okay. Yep.
She was very excited to talk that we came in too. She was happy.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to go chat with her, you should.
She gets lonely in there.
I don't think she's lonely. She's very busy, but she was very happy that we, when I went in, like, I remember we just wanted to confirm the process and make sure we were following the town like the procedures, and she was very excited that we were being proactive on that and not waiting until June.
Yeah.
To write up a contract that needs to be signed in June.
Good.
And she did actually ask me a question about knowing that Sam's evaluation needs to be done, and she knows we use the town's processes for that. She offered to get us the forms if we don't have them, but I think you already have the new forms. But I can confirm if we need to. And then her only concern was that she wanted us to review Sam before our board changes in May. And I said, conveniently, we already planned that. So she was happy to hear that Sam's evaluation wouldn't happen after the board changed with a new person there.
I have a plan for that. I'm going to talk about it under other business.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I will pull together and review what Michelle has sent me. I'll ask her questions, and then we can get it together to circulate for discussion with an executive session, I think amongst trustees before the next two things to confirm our decisions. Okay.
Meeting room policy.
Okay, so we revised the meeting room policy to try to address some of the larger dance groups that were like getting around the you can't book a room within a certain amount of time. And Mike and Sam gave some feedback, so we can just review that.
I apologize, I hadn't had a chance to look at this one yet.
And I hope everyone has permission, so I hope everyone can open it. So the first thing that was highlighted is gatherings in meeting rooms and quiet study rooms must be free and not for commercial purposes. And Mike had a comment.
Study rooms I know are used for like tutors and stuff. Also, I don't think a study room should be free. Like people shouldn't be able to just walk into a study room when someone's using it. Right?
When we were using the word free, we meant like for no charge.
Oh, okay.
Not free, like no, you still have to reserve the room.
Right.
Well,
for commercial purposes then, I think tutors use the room.
Right.
Which is
so you had said.
True.
Can't find a comment here.
That's what my comment said.
Yeah. You said that I don't think we want study rooms to be included in being free and not commercial purposes. That would include a tutor who's being paid, would it not?
Right.
So
we could spell out free of charge so that it's clear that we're not, you know what I mean? Oh.
Well, it's more the commercial purposes.
Right.
Unless I'm wrong about it.
I mean, is it commercial? I mean, is that?
And they're making money, but I feel like that's becomes hard to like control. What we're trying not to do is someone to like open up a shop in one of the study rooms for 3 hours a day.
Can we asterisk? Like excluding, because to me, the tutor's different. Somebody opening some Tupperware out of the.
Yeah.
But then we get into a territory of what exactly is a tutor, and whether that, if it is, are we talking an academic tutor, like some other kind of tutor? Like, I don't think we should specifically say tutors are allowed, but other people aren't allowed.
It's the viewpoint discrimination that might get us into trouble.
Yes.
Is it the difference between goods and services?
Maybe.
Could be.
well, town council reviewed this and didn't have any, right? I mean, they reviewed
Not
it
this, yeah, they reviewed it,
The first
before
first
you had comments. So as far as town council goes, they didn't flag anything, so.
We're just saying we don't want people selling things out.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Goods.
We are saying, because if we're allowing tutors,
They're providing a service,
yeah,
just different.
Selling.
Goods.
I mean, could a physical therapist set up shop there or a
Right.
massage therapist? Nice.
Right.
Are we allowing tutors? Is that allowed?
We are currently.
Right.
How do you,
You can't determine who
how do you
tutors
know
are
who
for
is a
profit.
tutor, who's not? Because if they're, you know, they could accept money on the, like, before or after the appointment and you wouldn't know, so.
That's the same thing could be true for a lot of other things.
But that, if they walked by and saw someone selling Tupperware, that's very different than, you know.
But
So obviously, selling goods is going to be obvious, the
Yes,
tutoring
yes.
is not as much. So,
Consultation. That's really, if people could use the study room for a consultation and then it'd be really hard.
yeah,
Police. Any transaction.
money is changing hands.
Would one say the same thing about, say, a realtor? If you're having a consultation with a realtor? Like, I'm just
A
trying
lot
to
of people
figure.
work from home.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, I think we're getting to.
we're getting into splitting hairs.
Yeah.
I'm actually
Yeah.
wondering what other libraries say related to this kind of statement. Is it just how we're wording it that's making it complicated? Like, we're really saying the only people who should be overtly raising money in this building are trustees and friends. So,
well, why don't we, I will look at other library policies and why don't we, like,
Yeah, so the
People
phrase
that-
not for commercial purposes needs a subject.
yeah.
yeah, I'd be interested to see what other libraries have in their policies.
All right, so we won't address that tonight, we'll look at that, because there might be other things that we're not going to approve tonight, so I'd rather get all of them.
Yeah, of course.
So, okay, and then Stephanie just changed some wording. It says by phone or in person, so we're talking about when you're making a reservation through the website or by contacting the library staff, in parentheses, by phone or in person at the service desk. Does anyone have any problem with those word changes?
It's fine.
Everyone's good with that?
Mhm.
Yes.
Um.
The next one's about resident versus.
So the tricky thing here is we've looked at this because study rooms can be reserved by anyone with a library card.
Mhm.
But the meeting rooms, you have to be a Littleton resident.
Mhm.
So we weren't sure, like. Right, this section is about policy for meeting rooms and study rooms, so it's kind of tricky, like. Right now it says library card accepted by RHL reservation system is required to reserve a room. But that's not totally true, right? Because Sturts and Murray, you have to be a Littleton resident, right? So should we add language like a library card accepted is required to reserve a study room?
You could just put the word meeting in front of the word room there. A library card accepted by the RHL reservation system is required to reserve a meeting room.
A study room. The meeting rooms you have to study.
Does,
You don't have to.
can I back up 1 second? Does anyone, regardless of whether they need a library card to reserve these rooms as well, plus to be a resident? So it's an added.
So the request is that I'm adding is that to book this room or the storage room is that you be a actual Littleton resident.
But they don't need to have a library.
They do have to have have a library.
So what I'm saying is the sentence is actually correct then, because
Yeah.
in the general applies to all rooms.
Right.
Later on in the meeting room, Mertz,
Storage.
Mirth.
I'm tired. Thirds and Murray, we could specify that they need to also be a Littleton resident in those sections as an added.
So we're okay with this the way it is now?
I think that statement about needing a library card is relevant to both types of meeting spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's not sufficient. True.
Correct. Not sufficient is a really great way of saying that.
Like I might put a line in there if we want to be specific that a library card and a Littleton residency is required for the meeting rooms.
Yeah, that lower.
Yeah, it's
I think it's under the meeting room
Specifically,
piece
yeah.
specifically.
I'm just saying it doesn't hurt to have.
Continue on and not get stuck on this one sentence, because maybe
Yeah.
once we see the next section, we can come back to
The
this.
next is the contact person on the reservation form is responsible for all aspects of the reservation. And then we talk about the room is left in the condition which is found, and we're just taking out the, wiping down the chairs and tables, windows, doors closed. Have you moved it? Chris, did we move that?
I think we moved it.
Yes, we moved, it's further down, so we're just saying this is redundant and we're taking it out.
Okay.
So is everyone okay with that?
I've moved. And is the word will in the next sentence, if a meeting or quiet study room is not left acceptable condition, contact person will be assessed.
Or should it be may?
Or should it be may? What is your follow through?
I think it's May.
May?
Yeah.
Your ability to enforce is what?
So it should be May?
Mhm.
I apologize, my son is texting me.
And then it was further down, it was the same sentence, we're just saying take that out. Because it's redundant.
Yep.
And then we had it wrong, we were saying it's the Murray meeting and, sorry, the Starks meeting room and the Murray conference room, and we had those reversed, so we're just fixing that. So is everyone okay with that change?
Yes.
And then Mike pointed out that we didn't, nowhere did we say how long the rooms could be reserved for, so we just added the timing there. Of how long they can be reserved for.
Okay.
So is that okay?
Yeah.
And then. Okay, so then. So we highlighted, like, it says tables and chairs wipe down and return to the closet, floor vacuum. Where would they find the right? Where would they find the vacuum? Is that posted somewhere?
Yes. Well, wipes and clean supplies, there's a sign,
Okay,
and the same thing for the other room. There's only one vacuum, so I might have to get a vacuum for your.
okay. Is it obvious where they are? Okay.
You're findable.
Okay,
So I guess this is going back to the top of this section, it looks like this is where Sam suggested adding the additional requirement of being a Littleton resident.
And I
Well,
see
that-
something that says non-Littleton residents must, but I think if we should maybe be more, say Littleton residents, only Littleton residents can, except in other circumstances.
Feels like it needs to be the very first sentence. Patrons 18 or up
Yeah.
reserve these rooms and be a Littleton resident, like that.
Yeah.
So instead of the word patrons, would it be
Littleton residents.
So change patrons to Littleton residents?
Yes. That's good.
And can you explain the reason for this, Sam? Restriction.
For Littleton residents. Basically, we're getting people from all over the place trying to reserve the rooms, including as far as Nashua. And so I'm getting a lot of complaints from people that, you know, why aren't Littleton residents given first consideration? Some of the dance groups that are from Littleton feel like it's not them, that it's the outside groups that don't use the library. So, yeah, so that's basically why. It's not so much Littleton people, it's outside.
We're getting people from way beyond our area.
Right, we're getting Westford people because Westford's closed now. We're getting a lot of libraries aren't as lucky as us with meeting room spaces. A lot of libraries don't open meeting spaces up after hours, so that's where we're getting a lot of people from outside towns.
We need more meetings.
And it's just hiding.
Side note, like we were at a Girl Scout meeting and we were struggling to find meeting space because everything was booked. So I was an adult meeting. The number of meetings are back to where they were, and we just fewer spaces in town than we used to have. It's going to become a problem, I think, beyond just our building.
I'm seeing
Okay.
I'm seeing a comment in that first one, that the one we're in right now, the Littleton residents 18 years and up, from Sam, that says, add the Sturts conference room must be reserved by a Littleton resident and a Rubenhor library card holder in good standing. An adult 18 years or older must be present. That feels like more, maybe better language than Littleton residents 18 years and up are able to receive these rooms. What do you think? Do you see that comment too?
On the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sidebar.
Under show more for Sam's comment there.
Right, so you want that instead of this first sentence, Littleton residents 18 and up?
Yes.
Okay. So if I say yes, will that add it?
No.
No.
I have a copy.
So by changing this, somebody less than 18 could reserve the room, but as long as there's somebody 18 or older.
Do we want? Yeah.
Taking responsibility for them. It is not that we will have the contact with the person who's 18 or older.
Sam, what do you? I think you have to be 18 or older to reserve anyway, don't you? Isn't that at the top for the meeting rooms?
No, we're changing it.
We're replacing that.
That's the suggestion was to replace it. So
We've had that for a very long time.
we've had it that it was, yes, the reservation was restricted to those 18 and older. Not that we took birth dates, but it was on the library card. But if we flip it to that, somebody has to be an adult 18-year-old or older. We have two sentences here, so two different clauses. So the conference room must be reserved by a Littleton resident and a library card holder in good standing. Let's play this scenario out. I have a 17-year-old who wants to hold a meeting and who may reserve the room for that first sentence, but they can't really be here until somebody else, as long as they recruit somebody else, 18 or older, to.
Sorry? That's Sam. So Sam had it wrong.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm always wrong.
Or-
that's okay. I'm trying to play it out as,
No, I know, I'm doing something else. because-
Okay.
Sorry.
But
So
just because
the third-
we have to
Meeting room.
yes.
fix the sentence way up on page 1.
Conference room.
we want that person making the reservation to also be 18 or older.
The current requirement is that the people who can reserve the skirts in the Murray room be 18 or older.
So, fifth paragraph, your policies for all meeting and study
Right.
rooms.
Yes.
So meeting rooms must be reserved by an individual 18 years old.
Okay, just making sure it's still in here somewhere.
But that contradicts what we just put in.
It does.
Well, it doesn't contradict it, just we didn't re-specify 18 years.
Okay. Yeah.
Down.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, the system is going to block anyone who's trying to directly reserve a room who's less than 18.
Yeah. Okay.
Because of the library card and
Yeah.
residency. But I just wanted to make sure it was in there consistently. Are we taking out the request? We can't use the form anymore, you have to contact.
I feel like we moved that too.
That's, there's an addition. That's why we moved it.
Okay.
So there's like more of a step down below.
Right,
I haven't reviewed this
yes.
in depth yet, so it's my
So,
bad.
and we've changed it to be more, so because Sam was saying that if you have more than 15 people, there's an extra step. So the link was the meeting room request form, and we changed it to the room booking form just to make it more, we thought that was more clear. So you have to fill out a form to book the room, and then there's a special request form if you have if you have a special case, like 15 more people and things like that. So we just changed the location of the link, and we changed the wording of the link.
And what's the thought on this, Sam? What is the problem you're trying to solve?
We have groups that are like 70 or more trying to use the spaces. So,
Regular basis.
on a regular basis. And I feel like when there's more people, there's more chances for the rooms to get damaged.
And the special form just gives you more information.
Right. It's more to give us so that we have more of a, it's not just the person online that posted a request. It's someone that, either Mike or I have actually vetted basically.
Also a way to organize all the different groups.
Right.
But have to say they're part of some sort of group.
Right. And then it hopefully prevents, like, let's say you sign up, but you're in a group with Sarah. So then the next month, Sarah signs up, and then,
Right.
and then next month, David signs up for you guys. Yeah. That's it.
We're very tricky that way.
Yeah. Well,
Hopefully they'll move on.
As all the other members of the town boards are gonna fight it.
I don't have a devious bone in my body, so this does not occur to me. Like, it does not. But it clearly does to others because we're trying to solve a problem.
Does this exclude, I know that the select board moved to a different place anyway, but does this for any use that involves more than 15 participants? Does that include meetings where we have more people, attending? Or like the focus groups, if we have 20 of them? Can there be?
I think even at the top, it says that town board.
Technically a library
Like,
program that.
right.
Town boards, this doesn't, doesn't apply to town boards,
Okay. Yeah.
It's more like outside groups.
I just want to make sure that doesn't become an issue. So if we have it, great.
Town typically comes to Sam or Mike.
Yeah, they wouldn't sign
directly,
up
so they wouldn't even
past
sign
that
up
anyway.
online.
They,
Yeah.
they would email usually
Yeah.
the day before. So,
You're very accommodating.
hence the problems for us.
Yeah.
But Mike raised the question, who has to fill out the form and who doesn't? Anyone with more than 15 people? What if they don't know how many people will show up? But I feel like It does ask
Participate
you,
in-
when you're filling out the form, it asks
Yeah.
you, and like, obviously, it's not really fair to say, oh, I'm only gonna have 12 and then bring in 30, like, but that is a good question, like, what if I do try and scan the system and I say, oh, I'm only gonna have 12 people, and then they bring in 30, and you're not here to know it? I think we can just try, right, and hope
Yeah.
that they don't scan the system.
Yep.
It's annoying enough.
Yeah.
Well, I think my other concern is they're just not gonna fill out the form. They're just gonna sign up online, and
Show up.
how is their approval gonna work? Like, what's the steps to make sure that they also need to fill out the form too?
So this could be,
Yeah.
I was wondering in practicality, how,
Yeah.
like you use the room booking form, what is the next?
Well, so if you have more than 15 people, then when you fill out the room booking form, it's not automatic, you don't automatically get it. It
No,
has to
says
be
it's pending
reviewed.
under review.
And so Sam has to review it, and they're like, oh, you have more than 15 people, you have to fill out the special form, and until you fill out that special form, your room isn't confirmed.
What
So
if they
that,
say they have 14? I mean, what if they say they have 14 people and it's on a Sunday and they bring 30 people for their dance troupe? How do we know?
Because
How do we?
we don't honestly, but honestly, other people will tattletale on them. So that's how I know.
Surveillance works.
Yeah.
and
I'm not looking at you. I get emails and messages from other people.
we're just hoping that people will be honest, and then if they're not, then Sam is going to know, and then like they won't be able to use the room again.
Yeah, it always comes out. It always
Okay.
comes out. But I'm not worried about it.
I've trained my Girl Scouts to take the like block, chopping of the door out.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the other thing is we install cameras.
that is the other way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a good next step,
So
and then see how it
the
goes.
split under study rooms, it says when the library is open and 10 minutes before the library closes. Can we say in at least 10 minutes?
Where,
I don't want meetings to just ask them.
You must stay.
Second bullet
The second bullet.
under study rooms.
I got it.
okay, yeah. Are we okay back up to this 15 participants and like all that pink language? Are you good with that, or any changes?
I think, well, I did not review it top to bottom before this meeting, so if we're going to investigate the further clause, if we could get a cleaned up version to review ahead of the next meeting, it would be great. And that way, if there's anything else, we can find that to ask questions.
We all know this is the hardest one. Thank you so much.
This is the hardest one. Collection development's nothing compared to this one.
Are we okay taking out the meeting rooms maybe used for performances, because that's
Yeah.
like,
We already covered that.
or should I leave it for now? You scroll down.
With the part that's crossed out,
Yes,
you already have that up above.
right, that's why it's crossed out, so I'm saying,
Yes.
are we okay to approve that cross out, or do you want me to wait?
Oh, I thought it had been moved. Okay.
Yeah.
And then those reserving servant room expected to check in with circulation upon arrival, but in the previous sentence, we said they should check in before, when they get here and when they leave, so that's, again, it's redundant.
Mhm.
I definitely have not remembered to tell people I'm leaving at the end of mid-reservation room departures. Okay.
So yours were forfeited.
How long do you have to how long can you be out of your room before you're forfeiting it?
15, if you don't check in and if you don't check in within 15 minutes of your time, then you forfeit.
But for the mid-reservation, if you leave and you're like, I'm gonna go take a 10-minute walk downstairs and come back again.
I think it says 15 minutes somewhere.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
calls for. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see it right above there. Got it. Yep.
Is it mid-reservation room departures will result in reservation for forfeiture if the. Okay, so it says if the library staff is not or are not informed.
Is.
Okay.
It could be either, I think, but let's call them a singular.
Okay.
Thanks. I obviously, we know we're not approving this, but I think we've done a lot of good work on it. Like Katrina said, if we could get kind of a cleaned up copy for next time, um, including kind of some of the comments that were made on the side, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, remember that we just wrote this for the first time in 2025. So like, it does not surprise me that we have redundancies and things that would be
We
fixed.
wrote it a year before that, but yes, it was not just from July.
Last improved.
Last approved in July, yes. Yeah.
It also
Okay.
doesn't surprise me that we're finding where the loopholes are that we need to close, so.
Yeah. Yep. People will find them, and then we need to close them. Okay, can we move on from meeting room to other business?
Yes.
Feel good? Okay. I have other business. Sam, have you been working on your self-performance review, and when do you think you'll have it done?
When you guys need it, I can,
March, so it's like March 31st.
March 31st, so I'll have it by then. I
Okay.
can have it next week.
What's that? You'll have it
I'll have it next week.
even better. Thank you. So David and Steph and I are the I just wrote it as DEC, Director Evaluation Committee. And so we
I
need
thought it was me, not stuff. It can be stuff
Oh,
if
is
you
it
want.
you? Oh, terrific. Yay, Sarah. Sorry,
I think it's me.
Sarah, David, and Kimberly are the Director Evaluation Committee. And so I will give it, Sam, can you just throw me a date? What date will you have it by? So I'll plan a meeting for after that.
I'll have it by Wednesday,
Wednesday. Okay, great.
whatever the Wednesday is.
Whatever this Wednesday is, perfect. Thank you. I don't know what that is either. Today's the 12th, next week's 11th, 18th.
March 18th.
Perfect. So the first step, and I think most of us have done this before, but the first step is that we will share out Sam's performance review with everyone, and they can and they will send feedback to the committee, probably one person on the committee, and then the committee will meet and kind of go over all of that and get one feedback form, one response for Sam back based on all of the responses from the board and also the HR. Katrina, did you say it was the HR person?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, and the committee will go over that with Sam, and then we will present it at a meeting. And I know we have to do all of that by May. So, hi, look, I have a cat in the picture. A shadow. So it's basically Sarah and David, I'll reach out to you so we can figure out meeting times.
Okay.
Does anyone else have any other business?
So you're going to review it with Sam in a meeting. The committee reviews it with Sam in detail, and then we report back at an open meeting, which is required.
Yes, and I believe I don't think we have to report back before the next person before we have a new board. We just have to make sure that everybody's feedback on the current board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want the feedback to be the current board.
Correct. Yeah.
Report to Sam.
Yep. So that's what we're trying to make sure we have in place, and probably will be further than that, but at least in place before the board turns over. So yeah. Okay. Any other business? All right, trustee updates. Josh wanted me to mention that he is using, I forget actually, what's the league? Is it called Legal or something? Freegal maybe, to do music sets for when they do crew. They're like downloading playlists from it and they love it very much. So thank you. Any other trustee updates? I know we've been here a long time. I don't blame
I
you.
am very excited that I won a Kimball's gift card from the Victor Reading Bingo.
Yay!
I do, and I am participating in the March Madness reading.
You could get braiding street bags too.
And I just picked up my copy of Reading Sweetgrass.
Perfect.
We're going against Waltham and Madness. I just found out today.
Wow.
Today's the last day for this round, so I need to.
Okay.
I can put my hour in.
They prorate everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it based?
I put in all the numbers, so it's basically when you get it in. I just have to get it by the deadline.
But it's not just accumulated minutes, it's by population, correct? Okay.
Yeah, they take how many library card holders we have, and they've created a formula to do it that way.
That makes sense.
Their formula. Just kidding. You guys already have my updates, so
Yep, yes. All right, thanks everyone. Would someone like to make a motion to close the meeting?
I move to adjourn the meeting.
a second.
Okay. Katrina,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Kimberly, yes. All right. Thanks very much, everyone.